What is up, everyone? No, it's cutting out. We have bad. We're, we're just gonna deal with it. So yeah, Caslin, we have bad storms, and it's making my Wi-Fi act all crazy. So it's probably gonna go in and out. You guys just bear with me. I can't help it. I live in Storm Alley. So there are so many people here. I don't have time to do greetings, but hello, welcome everyone. I have simple rules today. We're just not going to tolerate any shit. We're going to be nice and open minded and respectful, not just of Ernie, but of everyone in the chat. And we're going to be respectful to Ghost and everyone in his chat because I think he's streaming, which is fine with me. I did set it to subs only just to try to avoid some of the, you know, those annoying trolls who just keep coming back with account after account after account. The purpose of this isn't to annihilate Ernie or, find him guilty of anything. I've been speaking to him a little about him and assured him that I'm going into this with a completely open mind. I just think it, since he came around. So I just want to chit chat with him, and see how this past year's been for him. If he knew then what he knows now, would he have done anything differently? We'll talk a little bit about this Shelby situation. That's a do if I were in that position. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the link in the chat. This link is for Ernie only mods. I've already told most of you, because we're pressed for time and I don't want a lot of interruptions and chaos. I want everything to kind of stay on track and run smoothly. One warning: the timeout is the warning. It's going to go and block everywhere. I've never had a chat with a lot of problems, and I would think that if there were any chat I was going to have problems, this would probably be the one. So I want to make it as easy and stress free for everyone. Um, because why not? So let me go ahead and put the link in the chat. Leave for Ernie. Ernie, don't porn bomb me. Okay, so I hope everyone is having an amazing Thursday. I know a lot of people have had storms going on. Yeah, I think he will actually show up. In fact, he's back here now. Hang on one second. Let me fix something real quick.
Some migraine attacks catch you off guard.
Okay, E squared. I fixed it. All right, I'm going to bring him up. Like I said, everyone be on your best guest on my channel, and I want it to go smoothly. So we're not going to take any shit today. What's up, Ernie?
What's up, Jason Justice?
How are you doing? I know, Heather, I'm going to rebut something. There's nothing new about in the woods and there's storms, or y'all are just going to have to bear with me. So how are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
Good. It's hotter than Hades where I'm at right now. Yes, don't disrespect the tiger. So this little brouhaha has been a long time coming, huh?
I'd say so.
I promise I'm not the evil monster that some people may have said I am.
Oh, I believe that.
I'm really not. I know I've given you a hard time. I've made lots of videos, but it's never out to hurt anybody.
I get a quite a kick out of your videos, by the way.
Which one?
Well,
all of them?
Yeah, I mean, when you do make them, I mean, I love it how like I can just post a picture or something and you're right there on it. I'm laughing my ass off at that. I do that just to see who's on the tail and who's not. Just to see smart, just to test smartness.
Yeah, but hopefully that guy doesn't get pissed off. Yeah.
I hope he don't. I hope he don't. He don't look like he's much of a.
He's a
fighter or
brilliant
nothing.
mind.
But anyways, it sounds like you're having trouble with your Wi-Fi.
We're having audio issues. Can you guys hear me? Hello, hello.
Yeah, I hear you. I can hear you good.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, like I was just telling everyone else, it's been a year, right? Almost a year since you first came to YouTube. I don't remember when Benny did that first interview with you. That interview that you did with Benny was the first time I ever saw you on YouTube. Actually, that's the
Mm.
first time I ever really saw you, period.
Well,
And
it's been over a year. It's over a year.
so you kind of just over a year.
Hmm.
If there was anything that you could change over this past year, what would it be?
Um, I wish I'd have never. I wish we'd have never got involved in the Summer Wells case.
Yeah.
That right there alone was.
And that's been 2 years today since she's been missing.
Oh yeah. Even though I'm paying my respects now to it, but I just wish I never got involved in the Summer Wells case.
I
I
think
wish,
that Summer's
we hadn't
case
had
is
that.
probably. Go ahead.
I just wish, the Don Wells interview with the thing, and I just wish never, you know, never been a part of it. I just wish, if I could go back anything, it would be to take that out.
Yeah. And honestly, I think that Summer's case, like at one point in the beginning when it first came out, and everyone was reporting it, um, I used to say that that was the case that brought everyone together because her case is what actually led me to a Facebook group where I learned about all the other cases in Tennessee. Some of them I've covered, some of them are in the works. But now I feel like her situation has kind of like broken YouTube. I mean, it's really people who used to be friends aren't friends anymore. And there's just been so many conspiracies and speculations. And in my heart of hearts and in my gut, I've always felt like it was an accident and a cover up.
Mm.
I don't feel like she was. I don't feel like she was trafficked. I feel like Candace wasn't paying attention that day, and that's just. I mean, we don't have to go by right what we heard, but just from what I've known, and I haven't looked into her case that much because children's cases they hit me like a ton of bricks. I don't like to get overly involved in children's cases. My mommy heart can't handle it. And in fact, when I did an internship with the coroner's office, one of the first scenes I got called to was a child, and it took me a while to process that and get over it. So, if you knew everything now back when you first came to YouTube, aside from Summer, is there anything other than getting involved in her case that you would have done differently? I know that you've had quite the roller coaster and, a lot's happened.
Well, I wouldn't have built certain channels up either. Certain channels and certain creators, I wouldn't have told people to go to their channel and subscribe. I wouldn't have been a part of none of that. As a matter
Yeah.
of fact, I would have just stayed silent with it and done my own thing, and would not have been in the situation I'm currently in. But it is what it is. Like I said, I wouldn't have promoted other channels. No matter how much they'd asked me, I would have done it. I just would have done it. I wouldn't have been a part of it.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, I don't have a problem like, sending people to other channels and things like that. But for the most part, I kind of just stick to myself and do my own thing. I told you a little bit about that, I think, in one of our messages. I'm loyal to me and I just stay in my own little bubble. Honestly, YouTube is just like a pastime for me. I don't have a lot of time to put into my channel. I really don't put much effort into it at all, to be quite honest. But every once in a while, I get, a bug up my ass to come on and talk to everybody. But yeah, it's tough when you start getting out here in these creator groups, and we've all seen what can happen with that. just it turns into a shit show every time. And luckily, I haven't had any major problems with anyone that I know of. Now, I'm sure there's probably plenty of people that
Well, it's kind of like what we was talking
don't
about
like
the other
me. I
day.
just, I always try to maintain a healthy.
We was talking about what we was talking about the other day, kind of like when I named it, the difference between spatter and splatter. Most people would
Mhm.
say it's the same thing, but you and I both know that it's not. There's a big, big, big difference. Big difference.
Yeah, and when you walk into a scene and you see like blood on the walls and stuff, each method is going to have a different pattern that the blood goes
That's spatter.
in.
Spatter is a pattern of
But
drops,
mhm.
and then
And just like
splatter,
with
of
blunt
course, is
force
the
trauma,
scattered large
that
particles.
yeah, blunt force trauma is going to look different than a stabbing, look different than a shooting. Now, I did
Mhm.
see in a chat somewhere, I think it was Jody called me an ambulance chaser. So I did want to clarify that. Technically, I would be a hearse chaser. I don't chase ambulances. Where I come from, ambulance chasers are personal injury lawyers. I actually work alongside the coroner and the medical examiner, or I will when I graduate. I've done a couple of internships, but I crime scene investigators work on the scene itself. I will work on the victim. I will determine cause, manner. I've had to inform families of a death before. So, yeah. I just wanted to clarify that. I am not an ambulance chaser. So, I'm sure you saw that I have done a couple of videos on Shelby's trial. Um,
Mhm.
and I don't know if you think that I think that you're definitely guilty and involved in that. And I'm just going to tell you flat out, I've wondered, but I don't have enough to go on. One thing that intrigued me about Shelby's trial is just the way it was handled. They felt very lackadaisical in just the way the whole trial was conducted. So that's what was intriguing to me. It wasn't necessarily that, you were definitely involved in this and that. And, I know that that is a tough subject for you. I don't want this to be about that. Um, I do have access to
Well, what
all
I
the
can tell you,
discovery stuff.
the
And
thing about it is about that when you start talking about it, I never watched the full video. I don't watch the
mhm,
videos. What I can tell you on that is when people say, "Oh, you was involved in this and that," I was not involved. When I turned my phone into the police, I showed the last time that my brother had texted me, and showed the last time he called me. He had asked me, he was looking for someone to take him, and I turned it down 2 weeks prior. But here's the thing about it. Now that what I
right.
know about it, and after everything's come out, I never knew that Shelby had given him the money or the pennies or whatever the hell it was. You know, so I'm just going to refer people to look at someone who had actual items that belong to a dead man. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I can say because I don't know nothing else
Yeah.
about it. I have no idea about it. I wasn't the one who had a dead man's belongings. I wasn't the one who had all that. I wasn't the one who met up with uh with a killer. I wasn't the one that met up with a killer and decided all that. I just now found this out. And that's from Jimbo's own words, like the day of or the day after all that. So I don't know. I wasn't the one that met up with him. I didn't meet up with him. Jimbo, of course, met up with him. I didn't know anything about that. So when it goes to that part, that's all I can say about it.
I know that like in Mama T's chat and stuff before when she's been talking about like situations with you and Jimbo, I told her one time that you two, you and Jimbo, have a history that none of us can understand. You know, you guys have known each other for years. I know that it's kind of gone back and forth whether each of you felt it was like a friendship or just acquaintances, or but I mean, you did live with him and stuff periodically. So I think there's a little bit more to it than just being acquaintances. Is there anything about that friendship that you regret or you miss? I mean, I
I
know you
wish
guys
I
have
wish
had
to
a
God
lot
I'd
of.
never met him. I wish I'd never met him. In
Really?
'98 when I met him, I wish I'd never met him.
Is that
That's
because
just
of things that have happened recently that just kind of
no. I
was
mean,
the end for you?
if I knew
Because
if I knew what was all was going to go on, and I knew that
go ahead.
this would all come out like it did, I just wish I'd never met him. Wow. So the mods are timing out people taking up for me.
Uh, let's not. I mean, it has to be really bad, you guys, to time people out. Um, if someone's calling people names or just being flat out belligerent, let's not time anyone out. I've never had a chat where I've had to time a bunch of people out. Um, so yeah,
Jimbo,
let's
here's the
not do
thing,
that.
Jimbo. I never brought him to your house. When I drove over there, he was getting out of the green. He was getting out of the green Tahoe with you when you had the green Tahoe. You remember that? You got me to the side there and you told me that. So I never brought him over there. He was already over there with you. So you can say whatever you want to say about it. But anyways, I'm ready for this interview. Whatever questions you may have, I'm ready for it. I have nothing to hide. It's I again just no, I have nothing to hide.
Yeah, just don't pay attention to chat. We're not going to worry about chat. I have mods. I
Jimbo
can always
Collins
go
Jimbo
back
Collins
and
met me in 1998. Yes, Jimbo Collins did meet me in 1998, Jimbo. Yes, you did. You met me at a wrestling show in 1998. 1998 is when the CFA or yeah, the CFA when I did that thing in Georgia and I won the thing in Georgia and that's how I come back up and then I started wrestling in 98. My license and stuff my license and stuff go to 98. That's when I started wrestling. The year I started wrestling is when you
do
met
you
me.
miss
So
do you
do I
miss
miss?
wrestling?
No, not really.
No. I imagine it takes a toll on your body. I don't know much about wrestling. I used to watch Ric Flair and all of that. Like my dad would take me to the local wrestling matches and I worked concessions. And so I've met like Ric Flair and Roddy Piper, all those old
Well, that's cool.
wrestlers from back in the day. So fast forward up to now, and I know that everybody is like concerned about your legal issues now.
Hmm.
Um, can you tell me like what you think? Because I know when it was all going on in real time, like I watched the whole van thing as it played out. If you could give like a brief summary of what you think happened with that whole situation. Like you didn't steal the van. You were contracted by Bolt, right? Was it to deliver the van itself or was it to
No, no,
deliver
no, no. I was still employed.
products?
Here's the thing about it. I have yet to be fired by Boat. I have yet to be fired. That's something we're looking into too. But the thing about it is, no, I was supposed to keep the van. It was under a contract. It was under a contract. I got my license through Boat. They're the
Mhm.
ones who put the vans out on the road. Of course, that ain't the owner of the vans. The owner of the vans is who I work for. Um, People have got it all wrong. Some people said that the van was already stolen or whatever. People don't even know what they're talking about. People said I got for receiving stolen property. That ain't what I got. It's unauthorized use of a vehicle is what I got is a charge. It ain't receiving stolen property. I have yet to tell anybody anything about the van or anything about the crime
Okay.
itself. anything.
From my understanding, Bolt, they either provide vans that they themselves own, or they can subcontract vans, trucks, things like that if they need a driver to go out and take something. So that makes sense.
Hmm.
Um, I think everyone's question is why you didn't just go to that court date. Because Ernie, you probably would have walked out that day and been able to just get this taken care of with probation. And
Well,
now it's turned
the
into
thing about it is, I would have probably walked out that day, but I would have been hit with another charge that's underlined that nobody's talked about yet. Nobody said anything about because it's a bunch of lies. Why do you think Jimbo has contacted the prosecutor and keeps contacting the prosecutor for? You don't think he's got something up his sleeve? I've already talked to an officer. I already know everything. You see, everybody's not always on the up and up with people.
so in your
So,
next
so I plan on doing what I'm doing right now, letting the world see. Like I said, there's a lot of things that's coming about. A lot of people is getting ready to find out. A lot more things going on, and I'm just waiting. I'm just biding my time. It's kind of hard to travel and do things like I used to do, but I'm doing it anyways. I mean, I'm here now. I'm getting ready to go to the Summer Wells thing, and I'm going to do some things with that. So I'm going to try my best to
so you
get
are you're
involved with
going to
them.
Summer's thing.
What's that?
Have you been out to Summer's Day at all yet today?
No, no, I haven't. I'm waiting till
I was
later on
just
tonight.
like wondering what the mood was like there after I know a lot of people got upset with the way it was handled last year. So so you are going to just go to your next court date and get that handled. Like, cuz I wish you the best. I don't want you to like spend the rest of your
Well, I appreciate
life
that,
in
Chase and
prison.
Justin. I
A lot of
appreciate that.
people have wondered if maybe the reason a lot of people have wondered if maybe the reason you didn't go to the court date was because out of fear that you would end up in the same facility with Shelby. Have you had any contact with Shelby at all since he's been incarcerated?
No, I've not had no contact.
Does that worry you that if you did serve
No,
time, you're not about being in the same facility with him?
no, that doesn't.
Because you could always petition, you could have your attorney petition a court to, have you sent somewhere else if it came down to that. So just keep in mind, that that is an option. Do you think it would be good if maybe you guys were housed together if it came to that because you could rebuild your relationship? Or do you have no interest in rebuilding it?
Well, if it comes to that, it comes to that. I don't know exactly what it come to tell you the truth. But like I said, the reason I know what's going. It ain't to beat the van charge. I could beat the van charge. That ain't the thing. It's just what people lied about and what they've already said and what they've already done. I already know for a fact what's happened. So that's why I'm kind of staying away from it right now.
Yeah.
And let's just see how it goes.
Can you tell me a little bit about the charge in New York? Like, how is that going for you?
Oh, that's a slap on the wrist charge. That was just you see something, say something. I had an episode,
Was
and I
it
went
like
this one.
criminal trespass or something? Yeah.
It's a criminal
How
trespass,
is
but
your how is your health with all of that now? I'm trying to
I'm
like
doing good.
I
I'm doing
don't I
good. I've
don't
got
want
it.
to say anything that would make
No,
you
no,
feel
no,
bad.
no. I've got it under control now. I don't have the episodes I had. I
That's
don't
good.
have none of the episodes no more. I don't have nothing like that. People try to trigger me, and they play certain creators on the show and everything. They play certain things about me being tased, and they try to
Well,
trigger me.
yeah, I mean,
So why do they do that for? So what's the purpose of them doing that for? If it ain't just to trigger me and try to, you see, that shows you how dirty they are. But I don't do that. I don't play stupid stuff with them. I don't play their wife getting fucked by somebody else. I don't do that. Do I? Although there are videos of it. Did you know that?
videos of what?
Anyways, long story short, I don't go and play. I try to play in a way that's nice, I don't go ahead. I don't hit people about their wife
Well,
and
and the
stuff.
things like with the
So,
doxing stuff, I know everyone feels like, well, if you're on social media, then it just comes with the territory. And it doesn't come with the territory. I've been on YouTube for almost 2 years now, and I have never seen the doxing and stuff like that at an all time high like it is now.
oh
I
yeah,
feel,
doxing is very, very high now. Especially, look, if you say you're going to expose someone and you've got shit on you that you don't want people to know, and you're hurting somebody and they ain't got the ability to do it. If somebody tells me or and comes at me like that, if they hit me, I'm going to hit them 10 times harder. That's just the way I am. That's the way I've always been. Now here lately, I haven't done it. It's just like a thing. Have you ever heard of the old saying, "He wasn't a bad man, just a misguided one"?
mhm.
I mean, so here's the thing. That's misguided information that got them that. So if you believe other creators and what they say with misguided information, they say they pull up receipts and they show receipts and stuff. Only receipts they show is what they want to show you, and then they have a tale that goes along with their theory. Just because someone talked to someone's ex, just because someone talks to someone's ex, that don't mean nothing. An ex is going to say always something bad against another ex. It's just like if you get my messages with my ex, I could post my messages with my ex, but do I do that? Do I decide to do that? I don't do that. I don't do that route. So here's
Speaking
something else
of,
too. My
yeah,
son was in a car. Okay, I had that Dodge Charger last year. So he says it was 3 years ago that I ain't seen my son in 3 years ago. It was last year that I ended up not having my Dodge Charger. So it was year before last is when I seen my son. I've been texting my son through Messenger since a month and a half ago. So, you know, I just don't. It ain't really none of his business. It ain't none of Jimbo's business
so
about my
you do have
son.
contact with
I have, yes, until Jimbo started talking to his mom again, telling that he's talking to me. So Jimbo admitted that on his live. So if you want to
Well,
see
I
where
mean,
the
there's definitely a lot of tit for tat going on, That's why I like try to stay out of it. If
let me
people
ask you a
don't,
question. He's
mhm.
got 890 some videos on there. We went through them all. Did you know that 840 some of them is about me? Is always me in the title and stuff. Skern, 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 all that. I don't do him that way. As a matter of fact, I have no use for him.
Okay, but and this is just a completely unbiased question since we're on that subject. Do you not think that it's crossing a line by like putting it out there
Putting
that he's some big drug dealer and all of this with
That's why
like,
he
because
got
I
mad
know
at
that
me in
you
the
say
first
you
place. I
have
told on
this.
what he did. I told on what he did, and that's it.
But if you knew for a fact that he was doing that, like even months ago or years ago, why did you wait until? Because that's where I think people are like, well, this is bullshit because
Well, look,
you
what I can
waited
do to
until
prove
it was
Kemper says
convenient.
right, but Kemper says I haven't talked to my son. Let me since 2020. Let me give you the messages. I'll send you the messages on Facebook Messenger, and then you
Yeah,
can look at the
that his.
dates on them, and then you can value. You can see that. You can see where I've always tried to keep
I mean,
contact
I'll
with my
take a look
son.
at anything, and if it's something that needs to be, I'll give that unbiased opinion, and be like, yeah, I saw the messages and he has talked to him, I'll
Hmm.
whatever. I believe in facts and truth, and I understand that people get mad at each other and they say shit off the cuff, and it's
Right.
always like which cut can cut deeper, who's going to get the last blow, and that's really what everything has come to. Um so So you are going to keep your next court dates, right? I think someone in the chat was wanting to make sure. They just asked if you
It
have your new
depends on
dates
what the
and if you are
which
going to
court
go.
date. Which court dates? I don't have no more court dates.
Well, your
Uh,
cases in Madison are still open. There isn't a new date
they're
put up
open.
with.
They're open until I turn myself in, and then it goes from there. But we'll see. After everything's done, I plan on doing something with that.
Yeah.
Uh,
They're not
if
gonna,
you
like, hunt you down for charges like that, I know
no,
that.
but if you'll check your messenger, I just want to get this over way right now.
Yeah, let me grab my phone, hang on.
If you'll check your messenger, I just want you to look at the dates, and you can see that ever since Jimbo messaged Melinda in March of this year, that's the last time I spoke to my son. If you look at it, I'll show you a whole big list of it.
Okay.
I just showed you one just to prove the date that I do have things with my son. Jimbo
Yes,
told on my
March
son.
22nd at 8:33 p.m.
Jimbo told on my son for talking to me. And then he told his mom, and then his mom, I guess, told my son not to talk to me no more. You see, Jimbo has to be and put himself in everybody else's business and my family business and everything, which he will pay for that dearly. Now, I have legal problems, which is my deal, my problem, not nobody
Right.
else's. That's it. That's it. But can you validate that I have talked to my son?
Yeah, and you have to understand though that the reason people are invested in your legal problems is because of the way it played out. It played out so publicly. So, naturally everyone's curious. Um Everyone's very divided. And I don't know, it's weird. Like, it's just a weird vibe around YouTube now. It's like you're either on this side or that side. It's very difficult
Yeah, it is very
for
difficult.
someone
People
to
can be on
just
whatever
not
side.
give a shit about either side and just
But here's the thing, the truth will set you free. The truth is in the pudding. And I'm always like, I always take it after the donkey and the tiger. I don't
mhm.
argue with ass. I don't argue with the ass. As a matter of fact, there's some people in this world that's not capable of understanding what's true and what's not. So I just let them believe what they want to believe. I let them believe what they want to believe. I let them think whatever they want to think.
Once you get all of this stuff taken care of and you're able to breathe a little bit and live, like, a somewhat normal life, which I don't know that honestly, I don't know that you'll ever be able to live just a peaceful, normal life because you are so in the public eye as far as YouTube's concerned.
Hmm.
What do you want to do when you get all this taken care of? What do you see
Well, I'm already doing what I need to
for
do
your
right now. I've got
life
people.
in 5 years?
Here's the thing. I've got people right now with me. I got a good friend, Dante Donovan, and we're doing what we can right now. I'm making what money I can. I'm doing what I can to make a little bit of money here and there. It's
Yeah.
it ain't much, but it is something to keep survive. It's something to survive on. It's so I'm doing that right now. I'm doing what I can do, but I'm always relying on my training. If I never did all this stuff, I wouldn't know what I'm doing, but I
Look,
have.
I'm not saying he's a celebrity. I'm saying that in this corner of YouTube, he's pretty well known. I'm not saying I mean, I don't think he's freaking Matt Damon or Ben Affleck, but
No, no, I'm not. No,
everybody knows
I'm
the
not
name
Batman yet.
Ernie Shell.
I'm not Batman yet. I'm not nothing like Batman, but I do have people who support me, and I do have people who stand up for me. That's a fact. That can't be denied. I have people who help me all over the world. I have people who help me get things done when I need things done. That's simple as that. And I think you're doing a great job. Keep hitting me with these questions. I love them. You're
This is
doing
just
great.
me
Hey,
getting to
look,
know you.
you
I've
get to know
never
me.
really had a conversation with you before. And the reason I've never gone up on your panel is because honestly, have you ever seen me go on anyone's panel? I don't do it.
No, I've never seen you on nobody's panel. And when you said when you brought it out like an interview, I was like, wow, an interview. Okay, that's cool. And I've ever since then I promoted it. I've told everybody, I'm like, look, I'm going to be doing an interview with Chasing Justice. Hey, I can't wait. I want to be put to the test. I want to be put. I want my limits. I want to go to my limits. and you know, but anything you want to talk about, let's bring out whatever.
Okay. Um, not today in the cray cray. Let's
Oh
go there
God,
for
yeah.
a minute. She's not one of my favorite people. Let's
Well, I
go
mean,
that
she's
way.
bringing out things. I mean,
Um,
I'm all for
I
it.
find her
I'm
to be
good.
well. I wanted. She had a community post. I don't know if you like look at her crap that often. I don't, but she put out a community post regarding one of your license. Hang on, let me pull it up. Have you looked at it yet?
I haven't. First time I'm hearing about it. That's what's going to be good.
Okay. She made a post yesterday and it says words have very little meaning when spoken without being verified. And then she included an email and it says, on this date, March 24th, 2014, I contacted Tennessee Association of Professional Bail Agents. I spoke with Jamie Miller, a secretary for TAPBA. I gave her the information on the ID card located on Ernie Shell's Facebook page, and she stated if he did not have a TAPBA number
TAP BA. That's
on the ID
Tennessee
card, then it was
Association of
not a
Professional
legitimate
Bail Bond
card.
Agency is what that
I
is.
requested Yep. She said, I requested her to search her records, and she did so, stating she did not have a Ernie Shell or Ernest Shell listed as ever being a licensed fugitive recovery agent in Tennessee. She requested that I send her a copy of the ID. I advised her of how to locate the ID as I had on the Facebook page, and I also sent her a copy through email. Mrs. Miller responded that it did not have the TAPBA listed on it and it was not their ID, and it's something this Fugitive Recovery Task Force has come up with, badge and all. So she's basically stating that it was a fraudulent ID and a fraudulent badge.
Hmm.
She said,
So
uh,
TAP BA runs every 3 years, and well, it was every 3 years. I don't know how many years it is now. I've not done the TAP BA in a while. Um, so it ain't like it's every year you've got to go and you got to take the class. It's $295 for the class, and they give you
mm-hmm,
like a year. You get like a year license things. The thing about TAP BA is if you're not actually out doing the hunts, you're just doing skip tracing with the teams and stuff. You don't have to have a TAP BA. You don't have to, as long as you ain't laying hands on people, you don't have to have a TAP BA. So at the time from 2014 to 2018, 2019, I worked over in North Carolina with Ace Bonding Company. And of course, that's not Tennessee. That's
in North
North
Carolina.
Carolina. Yes. I actually taught class in North Carolina.
I used to live in North Carolina.
Okay, then that's cool. That's awesome.
Um,
Oh,
so the letter,
Asheville's a big city for bail bonding. Anyway, by the way, real big.
oh, yeah. Yeah, I live more
Asheville's
like in the
huge.
Charlotte area.
Cool. You
So
ever heard of Rock? You ever heard of Rockford and Southford?
the email just basically goes on. She's basically saying that what?
At that time in 2014, I didn't work in Tennessee. I worked in I did, but then I picked my license back up after I left North Carolina in 2018, 2019. I can show you I can show you the commerce from the state, my license. I mean, you can look at the number and see that the insurance, what it is, bonding is just you got to have an insurance on you. And I
Yeah.
had all that. That just shows I had all that as a professional bail bondsman. So there's different things. There's a future recovery. If you've got a bail bonds license, you can do future
Okay, yeah,
recovery.
because further down in the email, okay, because I'm just going to read this last paragraph of this email and then we'll put this issue to bed. It says on the Facebook page for Ernie Shell, page started July 29th, 2011. Ernie has listed his employment as captain as the Fugitive Enforcement Task Force. He has listed Tennessee State Recovery as one of his likes. The Fugitive Recovery Agency is linked to Eric and Cameron Paris. Eric Paris and Cameron Paris are married, and in 2012 were living in Dixon, Tennessee, which is a metro area of Nashville. However, TAP BA does not have a Tennessee Fugitive Recovery Agency listed at any point with them.
No,
Recovery agent.
Eric Paris, a good friend of mine. Good good friend of mine actually. He's in good standings. In good standings. So the thing about with TAP BA is like this group. It's kind of like the NABEA with Bob Burton. Bob Burton is who trained me. I actually was I was getting ready to go see him. He died in September 22nd in 2016. But if you ever heard of Bob Burton, famous bounty hunter,
No.
he wrote a many of books. He wrote a many of books and many of videos. He's in movies. There's a couple good things with him, but there's only like 5 or 6 in the United States that actually got to train with him in the NABEA, which is National Association of Bail Enforcement Agency, which I went to in
Well, I'll definitely look
2001.
him up. I love to read. So basically, this email that she posted is just some big misunderstanding about the timeline and things like that, and it really amounts to nothing.
So what I'm going to do, Chasing Justice, is I'm going to send you over all my license and things. That way,
Okay.
Constant Sue said she can't find them, but maybe you can. Maybe you can see that they are from the state of Tennessee of when I did this stuff. So I mean, that's all I'm going to say about it.
Okay.
It's just like they said I didn't have nothing to
So,
do with my son. I just now proved that I do. That I did have something to do with my son until Jimbo run his mouth over to his mommy, and his mommy made him quit talking to me on Messenger. So that's something else.
well, was he not supposed to be talking to you anyway? I would think that his mom would take.
Jimbo has told his mom all kinds of lies, which ain't in none of his business. I don't go and talk to Jimbo's sons about him. You know, the thing about it is, I told on Jimbo for selling drugs. I said Jimbo was a drug dealer. Okay, that's what I said. That's what made Jimbo all mad. So that is whatever. Like Jimbo said, the stand that he talks to Melinda periodically. He has no business talking to Melinda about me or my fucking son. That's the thing. Jimbo come between me and my son. Jimbo is Jimbo. That's what he does. Jimbo has to have it him. So his way. No, your son don't even know you, Jimbo. Only thing he does, he asks for a PlayStation or some shit. You buy it for him. You never see you spending time with James. You don't spend time with James like you do Hunter. Hunter's your pick. Anyway, that's all I'm gonna say
Yeah,
about it.
let's. I don't want you and
I'm not trying
Jimbo
to make this about
fighting.
Jimbo. I'm trying not to make this about Jimbo.
Like I said earlier, you guys have a history that none of us can ever understand. We weren't there.
So
This is just
Kemper,
me giving you the opportunity to
and
answer
I
some
appreciate that. I appreciate
questions,
that.
say
And
what
I'm
you need to
asking
say.
I appreciate that. Kemper, you haven't caught me in nary lie. You haven't caught me in no lie. Just because you say something and you give out misinformation for people to believe and you show a little screenshot or something and you say, oh, this is the way this is meant to be. That's what you and Jimbo both do with the stand. While you're all very vile, you call women fat asses, you call them skanks. You don't hear me say the word skank. I don't call nobody a skank. I don't even call Constance Sue a skank. But you have called many people with like Gypsy Soul. You call her skank. You call her fat ass. Jimbo bites his lip and gets mad while he's on live. You don't see me do that. I could give a shit less of what it is. Like I said, it's the tiger and the donkey. The tiger don't pay no attention to the ass, what the ass says. Jimbo can tell you that the grass is blue, and people start believing it, and then he'll get a following saying the grass is blue, the grass is blue. Hell, I'll go along with it. The grass is blue, fat ass, whatever. But I'll just do it just to see what people does. So it is what it is. Look at Sky watching. They call me
Okay, let's
Earn. They think they're
let's
going to get me
rein it
triggered.
back in. You're getting a little
No,
heated,
I'm not getting
Ernie.
heated. I'm just letting it out. I'm having a blast. I'm loving this.
I'm just going to interject real quick. Jessica Lynn, I removed your comment. I don't know if someone else blocked you. This isn't about Constance or her porch. You guys are acting crazy in the chat. Peach,
Here's the
I'm not
thing.
watching chat that much. Jimbo
See,
had a wrench like
Kemper
on
just
my
admitted
channel
I call them
before.
the way I see them, skanks. That's not right, bro. You don't supposed to call people skanks. Come on now.
Okay. You guys can duke it out later.
Yeah, it's just,
Chat, I'm just gonna ask that you guys like
look.
stop making this about other
If
things.
Jimbo ain't such a big liar, here's the thing, and I'm not going to say nothing else about this after this is over. We'll get back to the questions because I'm loving these questions. But Jimbo had to prove me wrong. He had to make sure that he degraded me and to prove me wrong in front of all the people. After I told everybody to go subscribe to the stand, Jimbo had to have it his way. So that is whatever. Jimbo gets mad if his French fries is not cut thin. You know that, Chasing Justice. You remember when he pouted on his own live when Thelma brought him his onions or his French fries and they wasn't cut thin enough? I can't eat these. Oh, they're not thin enough. Oh my God, I just can't eat these. I can't believe you would do that. Oh hell, So I don't do that.
All right, if you
Now,
guys have a wrench in here, um, just things are getting out of control in the chat. I think tempers are getting elevated, and I'm going to start taking wrenches if that's what I have to do. So there's someone that
because they're led by what
wanted.
Jimbo wants them to do. They're following everything Jimbo's told them to do. Chasing Justice. These are all stand people who's got wrenches in here. They've already blocked 5 of my people. So I mean, it is what it is. I'm not going to get mad at
Well,
that.
I mean, it's understandable.
Thank you, D Boss.
It's
I appreciate you.
understandable
You're
that,
so
well,
much
the
appreciated.
reason most of my wrenches are people that are in Jimbo's chat is because they sub to me too. Whenever that whole shit show of a split happened with Benny the first go round, and then with Rap and everyone the second go round, I stayed right in the middle where I always stay, and I had wrenches taken from me. And with that, some of my subs went with that, and that's fine. I have no hard feelings for anyone. If they don't want to be sub to me, that's fine. I can live with that. I just think that this stuff is going in a completely different direction. And, Jimbo had said in the chat that you're asking him questions and stuff that he's not on panel answers. So
No, I'm not
this
afraid
is
of him if he's on panel. It don't matter to
this
me.
is
Like I
just
said,
me and you talking. Let's
all
just
right.
ignore the chat. I'm just getting to know you better.
That's fine. That's fine.
So
Like I
another
said, I'm
thing
ready for
that
everything.
not today posted.
Look, here's
Another
the
thing
thing.
she posted.
If I wasn't
What? Go
trained and
ahead.
I didn't have all this training, I would have never be able to talk to these big words. I wouldn't know all this information that I know, especially about bounty hunting and stuff like that. I mean, if I didn't do it, I wouldn't know it. Here's the thing too. I was okay. Look, when you get on, when you get on the stand in court, you raise your
Hmm.
hand to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. So help you God, right? If I lie,
Yeah.
I perjure. If I
So
lie,
help you
I
God.
perjure my. If I lie, I perjure myself, right?
Right.
Okay. Why wouldn't it? Okay, so if I lied about any of this stuff, why didn't they bring it out as perjury? Think about it.
Well, that I feel like that trial was conducted in a crap way. But
Did
one
you
more
know that?
thing.
One more thing. Did you know
Yeah.
that Not Today in the Cray Cray lied about being Melinda on a text, acted like Melinda on a text,
Oh,
and
she's a complete liar.
Her and Jimbo was texting each other last year. She sure did, just so Jimbo could prove his point about me. That was Stephanie who was on the text with Jimbo, not that wasn't Melinda. That was Stephanie. So I'm asking why all that happened for. That was to prove to me. That was to get me to prove that people to prove that I'm a liar when it ain't right. That ain't correct at all. You see, I've got my text with my ex-wife. I've got all my texts with my ex-wife. Go ahead. Let's continue.
Okay, that's actually good that we're talking about her because another thing that Stephanie Mandy, whatever the hell her name is, posted was um, a confidential attorney client work product regarding a phone call that they had with your sister.
Okay.
And it says, I spoke with Amber today for half hour about the hearing on Friday. She will try to attend. These are facts from my interview. Amber and Bruce are coming to Shelby's hearing on Friday. Ernie Shell is living in Harlan with Rachel Pulley, possibly in a house in Loyal. It's so tiny. He moved back to Harlan in December with no place to live and asked to stay with Amber. He
I never asked to stay with my sister. I wouldn't stay with my sister. My sister lets chickens in the house and everything. There wasn't no way I would ever stay with her. But anyways, long story.
the last statement said, because you said that your wife left you for an Elvis impersonator, and the last statement on this transcript says that Ernie left Melinda, who he has a 10-year-old boy named Jeremy, to be with Rachel, whom he met online. Melinda is mad and hurt. She is also afraid of Ernie. She is likely still in contact with him because of their child. Amber thinks she may cooperate with us. So, did she leave you for Elvis, or did you leave her? Or another scenario would
She was
be,
seeing this Elvis impersonator guy. I've got I will supply you with the dates on that. I'll give you all our messages from Messenger and you can decide yourself. She admits that she what she did was wrong, not me. It was her admitting it, not me. So you can see from yourself. Like I said, it's just that's a receipt for you. It's a
so
messenger. It's all messengers.
when it came to like,
Look, I loved her. I love
so do you
Melinda.
think that you think your sister maybe told a lot of untruths throughout the trial?
Yes, my sister sleeps with her uncle. So I mean,
Oh, hell.
if that tells you anything about my sister sleeps with her uncle. For God's sake, that's why she loves him and she loves Shelby. It's untelling what all's happened with that. I don't have anything to do with my sister. I never have had anything to do with my sister. So for her to be a judge of character for me, that is untelling. Like I don't understand it.
Well, I hate that you don't have a good relationship with your family. Family is
I
everything.
do have a good relationship. My mom don't even have a good relationship with my sister. She can't stand her. My mom can't stand my
So
sister.
you're good with your mom. Like you
I'm good with my
contact.
mom.
That's good.
Look
I
at
don't have
Jimbo.
my mom anymore,
There's actually
so
a lot of incest in that family. Not by me, big boy.
yeah. Well, it sounds like you had like a rough, a lot of chaos in your family life growing up, just from what I've heard you tell and things like that. So I'm glad that you have a good relationship with your mom, and throughout all of these things
Oh, I have
that.
a great relationship with them. And my sister, my stepsisters and stuff, love them
Yeah.
to death. Love them to death. I have a great relationship.
So does Amber, is she like a compulsive
Amber is a compulsive
liar?
liar.
Does she lie about everything? Or
She's a compulsive liar. Amber
yeah,
is.
some people
Amber
are born
lies
like
about
that.
anything and everything.
But yeah.
Amber once told she was pregnant. She was pregnant for 2 years, and everybody was wondering when you're going to have your baby, Amber. When you're going to have your baby? Oh, it's due anytime. And it was like 2 years she kept doing that. So and here's the thing, even with court, they said her name was Amber Shell. It's not Amber Shell. It's Amber Madden.
So you don't talk to her anymore?
I don't have anything to do with Amber. She got me blocked on Facebook. I've got her blocked, and I don't have nothing to do with her.
Wow. That's unfortunate. But I mean, if she brings more chaos to your life than she does things that are beneficial, then I completely understand.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Um, Speaking of home life and growing up, I know I've heard bits and pieces. Do you think that some of the, I mean, obviously things that happen in your past and as a child, it shapes you into who you are today. Do you think that that is, are you harboring any internal feelings or hatred or anything that you feel like if you just let go of and had some closure, like with your sister or even with
No, I just don't have none of the
Shelby,
family.
that that would be
None of the
beneficial
family
for you to move on from all of this?
none of the family has anything to do with my sister. And that the reason why is because Amber is the kind of person who she's never been a shell. She's never been a shell. She's always been a Madden. She's always hated my mom. She's always hated my mom and said things about my mom. But Amber's also one who's always tried to get with like the other girls in the family. Like she would try to get with everybody else's boyfriends and stuff, and they just didn't. They just didn't have no use for her. Amber also lied to people. She said people locked her up in a room and didn't feed her, and all kinds of stuff. When she was little, she went to school telling a bunch of lies. I mean, it's a lot of stuff. Amber was raised by my mama and my papa. She was not raised by my mom.
So someone's asking, you and Amber have different dads.
Yes, me and Amber has way different dads.
Well, hopefully she can get to a
Look,
point in her life where she can fix whatever issues she has going, whether it be
well, it is
drugs
what it is.
or whatever.
Amber's got a lot of problems too, so I'm not going to say much about it. But Jimbo and Amber's like real good friends. That's his go-to person for information about me. That
Oh,
always has
really?
been. Yeah, it is. Hey
Do
Jimbo,
you
let's see
think
the
that
screenshots between you and Amber. That'd be funny.
do you think that maybe Amber is telling
Amber's
Jimbo things that
oh
aren't
God, yeah.
true
Amber
intentionally
every
to
time
stir the pot?
exactly. That's what she does. She just does things just to stir the pot, keep things going. And she tells stuff that's not even true. So I mean, that's why I don't even worry about it.
Wow. See, I can't relate to anything like that. I only had one sibling. I had a brother, and there's 7 years between us. So we weren't really close growing up, but I mean, we're cool now, but both my parents are gone. So it's just me and him. Family is important though. So I would say, whatever family relationships you have intact, keep those and keep building them because I would give anything to have my mom back.
Mhm.
So I'm glad that you have a good relationship with your mother.
Yeah,
She just got married again recently, right?
she did get married recently.
Oh, you like your new stepdad?
Well, he's still same stepdad I've always had. They just wanted to
Oh,
get married again to rekindle, everything and show that they was
oh,
married.
so it was like a renewal.
Yeah, it was just a renewal.
That's cool. So
Kel
not
tells
today.
he's been showing that a long time. He's been saying he's going to do this a long time. Just trying to answer some of the questions.
Yeah, we can answer some questions in chat.
So, you know,
Let's see. We're probably let's see.
here's the thing. Jimbo puts me out to be the worst person on
So
this world.
Jimbo's going to do a screen recording tonight. Well, I wouldn't say you're the worst person in the world. I mean,
Oh,
I've
I'm not.
definitely seen
Oh,
worse.
I'm not. Not at all. And everybody says I did this and I did that. I ain't done nothing to nobody. I could care less what people do. I want people to go. Look, people have a right to choose where they want to go. If they want to go over to watch the stand, they can go watch the stand. And I'm not the one kicking people out of Discord. I'm not the one who's kicked hundreds out or whatever. I don't do that. I could care less about it.
Well, that's easier said than done because people really can't go listen or chat wherever they want because if someone sees them over there, they're automatically labeled as that person belongs to this group. And that's not the case. I go everywhere in chat. And
Mm-hmm.
that's for my own benefit because I feel like firsthand information is
Well, let
the
me ask you a
best kind
question.
of information.
Would
So,
you rather
like,
get it
and
from the first hand or the second hand, or somewhere else? You know, you get it from the first hand point of view, first person point of view. You get it.
yeah, and that's what I do. Like, I will go, even if it's someone I don't particularly care for. I didn't mean to pin that. I'll still go listen because I don't want to play the telephone game, because by the time something that someone says makes its rounds and makes it to me, it's going to be completely different than what it was when it came out of that person's mouth. So,
Hmm.
and honestly, I don't have any personal issues with anyone. I don't dislike anyone. I don't hate anyone. I'm very easy to get along with until I'm not. And it takes a lot to get me to that point. Um, but, for an example, and I'm not trying to throw Mama T under the bus, but I know that's one of the complaints that people have with her as a creator, is that everything she says about someone, it's, well, I heard this. And I've told her before, I don't know if she's seen it in her chat, don't go by what you hear. Take the time to go listen to something for yourself or look something up.
You know,
Whatever you have to do.
here's the thing: if YouTube gave out Karen awards, Jimbo would win first place every time. He's the biggest Karen they are because he's got to prove everything. He's got to prove everything his way. He's look. Let me ask you a question. This is something you should know by hand. Who takes pictures of someone's feet? Jimbo does. Jimbo does. He took pictures of my feet. Jimbo did.
No, I don't know.
Jimbo took pictures. Jimbo's got things from 10 years ago when I got my tooth pulled and I was on medication and I was loopy. He played that the other night. It's his way. It's always going to be his way. Because if it's not his way, then he cries, he whines, he cares about it. That's the way it always will be. I have no problem. I am not scared to tell the truth about anything. Jimbo got mad at me because I outed him because he's a drug dealer. He sells his drugs. He sells his medication. It's a fact. He goes. Let me ask you a question. Why not get his?
So
Why
I
not
know
get his
you've said
prescription?
that.
Why not get his prescription in Kentucky? Why does he have to go to Cincinnati for? Because Kentucky
Well,
has a thing called Casper. That's why. Because Jimbo doctor shopped. He doctor shopped. He's a doctor shopper. Anyways,
but see,
that's the
that's
thing.
the thing when you make all these claims like that, and it's kind of like your word against his. Naturally, when someone is making claims about someone that's not true, and I'm not saying it's true or not. I don't know. I've never put that much thought or care into it.
Hmm.
If someone says something about someone that's just not true, of course, they're going to get pissed and they're going to, refute it and try to prove it wrong.
Right.
I think that's where a lot of the issues stem from now. It's just there's constantly accusations flying about people. And
Well, maybe you can get Jimbo up here on the next interview and ask him why he used his dead parents' social security numbers. There's a fact on that. There's papers on that. There's actually credit things on that shows he did. So that shows you the kind of person Jimbo is.
well, I mean, if that's
Jimbo
true,
uses my social security number even right now. You remember him giving it out to Laurel? Oh, here's your social security number. Hold on, I'll get his social security number for you. Is Jimbo supposed to have my social security number?
he was giving your social to who?
To law enforcement and stuff. Here's his social security number right here. Do, 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 do,
He's
do,
like,
do, do.
is he providing it with someone that
Look,
needs
Jim, let me
information,
ask
or
you a
is he like
question.
going out and trying to
Why
open credit cards?
why Jimbo's done everything. Just look it up. I mean, if you want to talk about not today in the cray cray, she talks about him using his dead mom and dad's social security numbers. I mean, that's Jimbo. Jimbo's always done that.
Caslin saying that you said your social security number live one day. Did
No,
you
I'm not saying I don't remember saying my social security number live. I gave
do
out.
that?
I don't do all that.
Mm.
Look, sweet as candy. Truth about Ernie is he doesn't speak of Jimbo on his lives. Jimbo and Kemper, every live, it's Ernie this, Ernie that. It always will be. They have no content. They have no content on anything. Jimbo has to contact the prosecutor and all that. He's making sure. He's got to make sure that I go to jail and all this. He's getting ready
Well,
to
I
get up
mean,
there.
you did put out his address and drew a map to his house,
I did that so
so
the dogs.
that's
I did that so the dog
that's
breeders would
probably
find their
what
way up
he.
there. I did do that. I did that so the dog breeders would find their way up there to the puppy mill.
But can you see how dangerous that would be to put? Like, I'd be pissed if someone drew a map to my house and put it online for the world to see. Because remember, Ernie, you were teaching in your general awareness classes
I
the
did.
dangers of
But
social
anyways,
media and how creeps are always watching.
well, I mean, if you want to know how the lie started, then it was Jimbo. Jimbo started everything. Jimbo come to YouTube for me. Remember, he talks about that. He came to YouTube because of me to tell everybody and warn everybody about me. But yet, it's been 2 years. Don't you think they know now? They've already heard about me. Jimbo has nothing else, though. And I'll continue to dox and do all that. When I find out there's bad people and there's predators out there, I'll dox a predator any day, especially if they want to say they're going to expose
But
somebody
some
else.
people who aren't even so,
Let me ask you a
but
question, Chester
knowing
Justice.
what, yeah,
Would you dox someone who has child abuse charges and who's a convicted child abuser?
would I put their information out publicly for
Yeah,
every
if they
Tom,
said
Dick,
they're
and
going to
Harry
expose,
to? No, I wouldn't.
if they said they're going to start exposing people and everything, and it's lies who they're exposing.
I would turn the information and recordings of them making these threats over to authorities. I wouldn't take it into my own hands. Why would I want to do something to piss a lunatic off that could track me down and show up at my house where I have my own children to think of? Like, I've my whole 2 years on YouTube, I've never doxed anybody, and I will never dox anybody, no matter the circumstances, because I feel like everyone is entitled to their sanctuary,
Well, when you've been trained into skip
their
tracing
home.
and
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 if
you
there
know how to
is
do it every
anything
time,
unsavory going on, hmm?
I said, but you're not trained into skip tracing and you never ever had to do it. So, but like I said, I haven't been doxing and I'm not going to dox no more. And I've been trying to keep it quiet about it. But when people
Well,
run their
that's good
mouth and
because there was someone that you doxed, not to, I don't remember who it was. Maybe the chat can remind me, but it was recently, and you were doxing someone. Do you think about, like, it's one thing to be angry at them and want to hold them responsible for things that happen on YouTube, but you have to consider the other people that live in the household, because there are crazy ass people on social media who want to hurt someone
oh yeah,
just
there's a
for
lot of
no
crazy
other
people.
reason because they're evil. So, like, back when you were collecting addresses and stuff for your mods, like, a lot of people had issue with that. And I understand wanting to keep your channel safe and wanting to know, but really, what are they going to do with your channel? They can block a bunch of people, and they can be a rogue mod and shit like that. But when you have a single woman who might have children in the home, if people's addresses get out, then more than anyone that there's a lot of pervy jerks
There
online.
are a lot of
And
curvy jerks. There's a lot of them on YouTube.
so, would it make you feel bad if one of the addresses you put out, someone showed up to that house and hurt a woman or her children? Would you feel responsible for putting them in that danger?
It depends on who the person was.
Fair enough.
You see, when it comes to people who are predators and stuff, I have nothing for. I'm not going to simp for a predator. I'm not. I never will. It's the same reason why a lot of people they did with rap. Rap admitted doing what he did, and I'm not going to simp for him. Rap deserves everything he gets. That's just all I'm going to say about that. But anyways, let's get off with Jimbo, and let's get back to the questions because everybody's saying this is turning into Jimbo, and I'd rather it not turn into Jimbo. I'd rather not even mention his name.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm not talking about just Jimbo. I know I mentioned putting the map to his house, but so you say you're not going to dox anymore, and I hope you don't, because I'm telling you, like, if someone showed up at my house for my kids, Mama Bear is going to come out, and I'm locked and loaded at all times. So it's dangerous, and if you're not going to do it anymore, then stick with it. If there's ever a
I
situation,
do stick with it. I'm just sticking with it, but
just
I'm gonna try to stick with it there.
so there's a comment in the chat that says if you think they are a predator, that means nothing. That's for law enforcement and the courts to decide. So there is a fine line,
There's a fine
between
line.
your opinion of what someone is and the actual facts.
You got
But
it.
it's a very fine line.
Oh, exactly. Oh,
So are you still interested in doing like the predator hunting and stuff?
I mean, I still help out here and there with stuff like that.
You know,
I don't do it fully like we was doing it. I don't do nothing like that no more. As a matter of time, I really ain't got time to do that no more. I've got my own thing I'm doing now. Like I said, I can't be on
mhm.
YouTube all the time no more.
When are you going
I
to
do
bring
my
me
own
some
thing.
donuts?
The donuts are good now. The donuts are really, really good. I'm actually getting fat off the donuts.
I like donuts.
What kind of donuts do you like?
I like Bavarian cream.
Really?
Yeah.
I would picture you as a glazed kind of girl.
Mm, I do like strawberry with sprinkles too. Those are good.
That's good. Sprinkles are all right. You like ice cream?
So, how are like you're still in contact with Tina and Xander, right? Or
I mean,
just Tina? I know at one,
I talk to Tina every once in a while. Every once in a while, very rarely.
but not Xander.
I haven't talked to Xander in a while.
I think the last time I remember seeing him online, he was, had the same opinion as a lot of people, and he called you a con man or a fraud or something like that.
Well, I mean, he called me what he wanted to call me, and that's just, he was mad,
Do
and
you
that's
have
what he
hard
said.
feelings with him?
I don't have no hard feelings
Yeah,
toward him. I don't have no hard feelings at all toward him.
well, that's good.
None at all. No reason to.
So, do you plan on staying on YouTube?
I plan on doing everything I can on YouTube. I've got some things coming that's pretty big on YouTube. A lot of people, I think, are going to get shocked in July, around July's time. So
Are you
I'm
going to
working my
teach
channel.
classes again?
I don't know. You
I
going to be
used
my
to
student?
listen to all your classes.
Really?
Maybe,
Really?
maybe. You never know. I mean, I'm taking the summer semester off.
Really? That's good. You should. I
Yeah.
don't know what I should teach you. I mean, I could teach different things,
Well, I
but I
mean,
mean, I don't know.
internet safety is always a good way to go, but I think that you can't ever be too informed when it comes to keeping yourself and your children safe
Oh
online,
no,
cuz like
really,
I have two girls and a boy. And so my boy, he doesn't really do social media that much.
how old is your
I
kids?
have an 18. I have a my son will be 21 very
21.
soon. Yeah.
Damn.
And then I have a 18-year-old daughter who just graduated high school,
Cool.
and I have a 9-year-old. And my 9-year-old is really big into like Roblox and things like that, but I have taken her away from Roblox
I
because
started to say that's
she
one of the worst things you can do is at Roblox.
yes, she had a friend who is 10, and I actually caught her going on Roblox and catfishing these like 15 and 16-year-old guys. And she was like telling them
Wow.
that she was older. And, I told my daughter, I was like, no way, you're not talking to this kid anymore. And on her phone, Like she doesn't have phone service. She just uses Wi-Fi at home, but I have her phone set up to where I can see everything she does. Like I can look at all her Google searches, I can see how much time she spends on each app and game. Like I'm very, very vigilant about keeping my kids safe. And
The thing kids are exposed to nowadays is acronyms. You know what I mean? They learn
yes,
they learn
kids,
acronyms real fast, and that's what a lot of
yes,
child predators. That's what a lot of child predators try to get through to kids nowadays is the acronyms. If they can just use it by acronyms, they know adults don't know what that meaning of acronyms is. Some of them, because they can put together like a sentence with just acronyms, and then it's like you know
oh yeah.
code.
And it always throws her off, because I spend a lot of time looking at acronyms and have a whole conversation, and my little one's always like impressed by that. But she also knows that that means I know what she's doing. So there was a comment in the chat
Well,
about
there's
the
one.
statement I
Did
just made.
read Tin Boy. Tin Boy's got a good one there because it's true. Why do you mod a 9-year old or 10-year old in your chat? Named Sammy, which he did do. You have adult channel. Isn't that predator actions? Fact. You don't see
Yeah,
my.
and
You don't see me
I was
modding.
in the chat. I wasn't like active in the chat, but I was listening that night, and I think Sammy is the grandson of one of his long-term subs, and I think that Sammy just he wanted to feel cool and have his name be Blue. I didn't
So,
stick around for the whole thing, but I think that he did give Sammy a wrench for a second and then took it right back. That's my understanding of what happened.
well, I understand that, but you know,
And I
that
do
kid don't
know
even.
that,
The kid don't even need to be watching. Don't need to even be watching his show when they're talking people skanks and all that. So
right. And from
it's been deleted.
the
Jimbo said
times
it's been
that,
deleted. His grandma is in chat now. It's been deleted many a times. It ain't just one. It's like two or three different times I've heard the name Sammy come up. Oh, our good friend Sammy's in here.
and that
Sammy's in
happens
here.
sometimes. Yeah,
Then
it's
Jimbo
a
needs to
sub's
stand up.
grandchild.
Then Jimbo needs to stand up and say, "This is an 18-year-old plus. Get out." You have to say that to your people. Get out. If you're going to be underage, this ain't for underage kids. Get out. You see, Jimbo has a problem telling underage kids to get out.
Well, he doesn't talk directly to not now. This is just from what
Oh, yes, he has. Oh, yes, he has. He's talked directly
I've
to him in
seen.
chat
I'm not
before.
there for every stream. I don't hear everything, but the times that I've been there, he's like said hello to Sammy, and like his grandmother lets him know Sammy's with me. And I've heard Jimbo say, "Oh, hi, Sammy. Sammy's in the chat, guys. So let's not, get carried away." But he usually just, from what I've seen, Sammy comes in and says hi, and then either he leaves and just his grandmother's in the chat, or
Understandable.
they
That's
both
understandable.
leave the chat.
Understandable. He's also in Discord. I don't know. I don't know nothing about his Jimbo. Supposedly, it's supposed to be like an extension of his chat, but yeah, he gets mad when anybody puts screenshots out of it. So I'm not worried about it. Let's get on with this. This is awesome. Thank you so much. You're probably going to get cussed out tonight for having me on panel and all that, but it
No, I
has
don't
been
think
fun.
I will. Like, I let it be known ahead of time that I was having you up, and
Mhm.
know, I've never had anyone get mad at me because of a panel guest before. I mean, I don't foresee anyone getting mad at me about this. If they do, then, hopefully they get over it.
Well, you'll get to see. It's like I said, time tells all about it. People can see who they want to do whatever.
So there was a comment earlier that said, when we were talking about internet safety, and they thought it was kind of laughable that the person who has done so many things like doxing people that maybe you're not the best person to be teaching internet safety. So,
Well,
what would you
who
have?
would you rather teach it, to people that knows how to do it, or to people that has no clue about it? Think about it.
Well, I
Simple.
want someone who knows about it to teach it, but I don't want that same person who's teaching me about internet safety to put me or my family in danger.
Understandable.
So, do you feel like there's anything that you have done that you regret? Have you treated anyone a certain way that
Oh, I mean, I've
maybe looking
apologized.
back
I've apologized. I've
you
apologized to a
had,
lot.
or yeah, I've seen you apologize to people, and that's good. It takes a big person to apologize
Right. It does. It does take a lot. It takes a lot.
because no, I mean, people are stubborn. Like we're stubborn, right? Human nature is to be stubborn,
Hmm.
and we're set in our ways, and it's hard to sometimes admit when you're wrong. So I commend you for apologizing to people. I've seen
Oh yeah, I
people
apologize to a
apologize to
lot of people,
you.
and I'll continue to apologize if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, and I've said something, look, I've been on people's panels, and then I see the person on panel, and I say, hey, look, I need to give you an apology. I'm sorry for this. I'm sorry for that, and that's the way I'm in. But in the same instance, there's people who email me daily, and they come up on my channel and chat, and they like, look, I'm sorry, I believed a lie. I'm sorry about that, and we're growing constantly. We keep on growing, but I don't hold no grudges against people. I don't hold no grudges against her or anybody, and I never will. I just ain't the kind of person to hold grudges. Just not that.
So someone says, why would you encourage your own subs to post
To do what?
their real photos unless you intended to use it against them like you have in the past? You should encourage people to protect themselves.
Why
I
would I
mean, have you
encourage?
encouraged?
No, I don't.
Yeah, why would
I don't
you?
recall that. I don't recall that.
Okay.
No, I don't recall that.
Um, oh, going back to your social security number, and you said that Jimbo had it. I think someone asked why he had it. And his answer to that in the chat was because it was on your paperwork for your meth charge. Now, a lot of people are torn about that
I've never
because
done
it's
meth.
been
I've
said
never
that,
done meth. I've never done meth. I don't even know what meth looks like. To be honest with you, I have no idea even what it looks like. I have never done meth. I don't do meth. I don't know nothing about that. Just simple as that.
how is your kidney issues? Have you gotten all that straightened out?
I'm
Because
doing
I
fine.
know that you were in the
I'm doing
hospital
fine.
and
I'm doing
you got to
fine.
lay off those Mountain Dews.
Now, Mountain Dew
Those aren't
without.
good for the kidneys.
Oh no, 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 no! Without drinking a lot of water, you're exactly right.
It's not good for your teeth either. It eats away at the enamel because it's, anything that has like a high citrus content, it eats away at the
Mm,
enamel on your teeth.
hmm. You know, I'm getting a lot of messages right now, and people
So
are asking.
they said
So
it's in
there,
one of your,
so people ask me a
okay,
lot.
so the
Go ahead.
the pictures that they were talking about, they said it's in one of the many deleted lives that, that aren't there anymore with the channels going down
Well,
and stuff.
you'll have to show me. You have to show me the live it was on and everything, and for me to remember
It's
it.
I think it's gone now, but it's you they quoted and said you wanted to see what all the pretty ladies looked like and
Hell yeah, wouldn't you?
wanted to know where they were from. I guess is when that happened. But
No. See again, they go by my sister. Kemper says your sister said nurses told her otherwise. Well, I don't see that. You need to show a receipt or something of that, maybe. Maybe show me a receipt or something like that, Kemper. That way I understand it because I really don't remember it.
well, maybe
Hey,
I can I can feel you.
Have you seen all the hate messages of Kemper and his own group going after us? Have you seen them? That's posted on. It
I
came
mean,
from
I've looked
Facebook.
around on Facebook. I don't get on Facebook that much anymore.
Kemper
I
said
know that
this.
there's like a long-standing issue.
Kemper said this. Kemper said this. He actually said, "Let's try to get Ernie out of the South and get him to come up here with me and do something to me so I can press charges on him and get him out of here, get him in trouble." So it is what it is.
So if you've
Did you know that Kemper went to one of my girlfriends and
apologized to other people and you've kind of mended fences and stuff, do you think there's ever going to be a point where maybe you, Jimbo, and Kemper could hash it out? I'm not saying that you have to be friends or you have to move on being in each other's lives, but do you think there's ever a point that you could get to where you just leave it and go your separate ways?
well, the thing about it is you should be asking them that. I'm not the one that report on them in, night out. They're the one that always report
Well,
on
and I
me.
will ask him, but
So they're the ones that came to YouTube for me. So you have to ask them that. I think, and that's through their own words, not mine. So
yeah. So someone said that you wanted your viewers to send you pictures of their badonkadonks.
hell yeah,
Did
show me
that
your
ever
ass or
happen?
whatever you want to. Hey, the ladies, single ladies, whatever you want to show me, show me. Tell me where that's a crime. Show me where that's a crime.
Well, don't ever expect a picture of my ass. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Hold on a minute. I'll send you a message. Messenger.
It's not a picture of your ass, is it?
No, I mean, no, I ain't gonna show you my ass. Why would I show you my ass for?
Well, I don't know. Maybe you're proud
No,
of
I was
it.
getting ready to say, you have beautiful eyes, by the way. I was wondering the picture on your for today's live, that redheaded lady and everything. Are you really red? You really red hair? Is that red hair or brown hair? You're more brown headed, ain't you, instead of
Yep.
redheaded? You're red?
It's red.
Holy hell!
It has touches of gray in it right now. That yes, I'm a redhead with blue
A
eyes.
redhead. Damn, girl. Redheads. Redhead's always a sparky kind. I knew you was a sparky girl.
I'm a Leo too, so
Oh my God.
yeah,
You,
just a
you know
big.
what they say about Capricorns and Leos, right?
Oh Lord,
Yeah, I
what?
know. I'll let you look it up. You're the genius. I'll let you look it up, girl. I'll
Yeah,
let
but
you be
it's,
the one
I'm
that.
an old lady, Ernie. I'm an old lady.
Oh, you don't look old. You ain't old as me.
How old are you?
Well, guess.
42.
Close. That's close enough.
I'm older.
Just a little bit.
Put
That don't mean nothing.
it this way:
Don't you
Elvis
think I've already
died.
looked? Don't you think I've already looked
Elvis
you up?
died. My something.
I was just playing.
I wouldn't be surprised if you hadn't looked me up.
How good do you think I am?
I mean, I don't put anything past anyone. I don't
But
know you well enough
how
to
good do you
say how
think
good you are.
how good do you think my team really is? Do you think we have you nailed right now
I don't
about
know.
who you are? Just
Maybe.
guess. Very
Could
interesting.
be.
Very
I don't
interesting.
know. I don't know who your team is. I don't know anything about them.
We got a hell of a
I
team.
mean, I guess you may have. I've told you a lot about myself just in this hour and 36 minutes.
You told a lot. You told us a lot. But
Yeah.
before I come up on anybody's panel and everything, Southern girl, you're late. You're late to the fiesta. We already ate the hot dogs. We're with the chips right now. But no, I've had a great time. I think you're the perfect person to interview me. I really do, because you're
Oh, yeah.
smart.
Someone's talking about that time. Someone's bringing up that time that you told Tiffany Marie to move her hair back.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. She's a
I did.
bitch.
I did tell her that. because she looked like a person that we was asking about, and there was a place on her face there, and I said, "Move your hair back a little bit." She's like, "Why that bad?" Anyways, it was funny.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people thought that that was, kind of creepy the way you're like, move your
Queen
hair
Ashley, we
back.
haven't looked you
I
up.
was watching that day that all that.
Oh yeah. So
You
so
looked
you're
up Queen
so,
Ashley.
so you're in and out. She said that we looked her team up and they lied, Ernie. No, I ain't never looked you up. Never. Never looked you up. Now they're saying I'm grooming you. I'm grooming you right now, chasing justice.
I think they're talking about Tiffany Marie. You were grooming her that day. And then,
Oh no.
people had issue when
Just because you tell somebody
you
to move
had
their
your
hair
niece
back,
on
how
panel.
that ain't grooming. That
Like
ain't grooming
people,
when you tell someone to move their hair back. You need to look up the definition of grooming. That's what you need to look up the definition of.
well, and your niece when you had her on there, because
She was singing an
people,
innocent song. She was singing
I
an innocent
know,
song,
but
and then
here's where
they went
this
crazy
is
over it.
this is where people had the problem. Again, it's because you're on one hand you're teaching a class and telling everyone, how many thousands of predators are online every day, and then you take your young niece and plop her online in the middle of an adult live stream where so it's just people are like they get mixed emotions. It's kind of some people it doesn't make sense to them how you're saying, keep your children safe on the internet. Don't let them be seen. Don't put them out there for the world because there's always creeps watching. And then you had your niece on. So it just kind of left
So,
people like, well, what
Queen,
the hell?
right, right. I
So
understand that. But I was, how was that? I can't even remember when that was, but I remember what you're talking about. I understand that. But I
yeah.
wasn't grooming nobody. That ain't grooming nobody. I mean, I just had her, I was talking and I let her sing her song and I thought it was cute and that's it. So, Queen Ashley says that's a lie. You had Tina on your panel and she lied. Tina ain't part of my team no more. So, that ain't what I'm talking about. I got real private investigators and people who look shit up for me all the time now. But, we actually have a hell of a
So
team.
April says, how hard is it to admit that both sides do dirt? And that's what I was saying
Exactly.
earlier,
Both
April.
sides do dirt. Both sides do.
There's a lot of tit for tat. My only advice is to just that it's happening around you, just don't be the one to do it, because the thing a lot of people they feel like if they're being harassed or bullied online that they can just go file a police report and easy peasy it's taken care of. You and I both know that that's not the case when it
Right.
comes to cybercrime. It's completely understaffed. There's not enough resources in the world to deal with stuff like YouTube crap. Um, I have a cousin who deals with white collar crime
Oh, watch this.
and
Let's see how much you know about
cyber
what.
crimes, financial stuff.
So here's the thing. What's the difference
So
between
that is
white collar?
there's just
What's the difference between white collar and blue collar?
well, white collar is like serious financial crimes. She dealt with a lot of, like trade fraud and stuff like
Embezzlement, stuff
that.
like that. Yep.
Yeah, like high dollar crimes.
Hmm.
And that is where all the attention is focused. Because let's be honest,
Is my
the world is
investigative
going to
team mean
shit
girls? No, they're not
fast.
mean girls. They're not mean
And
girls. Sean actually works for ASI. Um, I got another one. His name's Brian. He works for APK, and they're you can look them up. They're both legit private investigating teams. I have a
mhm.
guy whose name is Cornelius. He works for Eagle Eye. He's a good guy. He's not in here right now, but Sean and Brian. I don't know if Brian is. I know Sean is.
Hi, Sean.
So everybody thinks everybody knows
So y'all are
everybody. I
just like
mean,
traveling around.
I am right now. I'm traveling right now. It's hard to travel. I'm telling you. So With the Summer Wells thing, you know, this is going to be the last year that I do anything with it at all. I've got one more thing I want to do, and I may go live later on tonight about it. I don't know how people are going to look at it, but I may do it. I may go live one more time. There's just something. If I got service, I will do it. I know around where the cave systems is on Ben Hill up there, around the top of it. There's
Mm-hmm.
a cave up there. There's a cave, and they have a cave system that's around the whole mountainside. I don't know how much service I'm going to have, but I may go live up there. I don't know. We've got some camping equipment stuff, and who knows?
Yeah, those okay, while you're dishing out apologies, and I don't
And I
think
wouldn't say
she's
I'm
in here
dishing them
listening
out,
now,
but I'll
but
say
I'll
I'll
clip it and
apologize.
send it to her. The
Who is
mother,
it?
the mother that was on my panel on the video that you commented and said it was boring as hell. Can you apologize to her because her son lost his life, and like I would have
Who
just picked any other video to comment
who
that on.
who is the mother? Who is the mother?
Her name is Lisa Key, and her son Aaron was killed a few years ago,
Well, a few years ago is just
and it
not
was
included in
made
his
to
life,
look
but I will
like
apologize.
he took his own life.
I will apologize. I apologize
Well,
for saying it
thank
was
you.
boring as hell. I just did that because I seen you say some bullshit about me on
Yeah.
you called me out on a picture or something like that, and I was laughing my ass off about. But I thought that was funny as hell. I only put that up there. Well, Donovan gave me the photo, so I blame his ass for that. I didn't know where the photo came from. He said, "Put this up there," and I'll show you the messages if you want to see them. I don't care. That's the only reason I did it. I had fun though, man. I just like, you know, this is
It's
cool. I want to see
fine.
what she
I
says.
just, I don't want, ever want like a victim's family to feel less than, or because she's already dealing with a lot. I don't know how much you know about the 13th district in Tennessee, but that is one corrupt ass district. If you
Randy
look,
Lynn. Someone says, Ernie, what can you say about Randy Lynn? I asked many times. I know about it. Just want to hear what you can add. Randy Lynn. Well, that's a subject for another time. I'll just say that.
who is Randy Lynn?
A YouTube personality. Now they become a YouTube personality. Just say that. You know, anytime these crimes, anything happens with crimes, people become YouTube personalities. Like Don and Candace, what happened? They became YouTube personalities.
Yeah. So there is a chat question that says, "Can Ernie discuss his mental health and his episodes?"
I was just looking at that.
I know we talked a little.
Well,
Is
I don't have them
has
no
there
more. I
ever
don't have them no
been?
more. I don't. I don't get triggered no more like that. You can say maybe I'm on medication, maybe I'm not. I don't know.
Yeah, you don't have to talk about your medication and stuff like that. I know a lot of people were worried about you. You know, I
Let's
mean, that
see.
was some
The
scary
stand says
stuff,
I'll be
Ernie.
losing. The
I
stand
don't
says
care
I'll
who
be
you
losing.
are, how much. Like, yeah, he's going through the mountains. He says.
Oh, oh, I got to face the ones through Leslie. That is right. I forgot about that. Even though she admitted nothing happened. Okay. Damn.
So they're saying that the Randy Lynn person is a federal judge.
Okay.
So it's a
But now,
judge who's now come to YouTube.
well, he's being talked about. I don't know much about Randy Lynn. I've heard a couple
Okay.
things about Randy Lynn, but don't know much about it.
Okay. So yeah, the person that asked about your mental health, they said you don't have to go into details, but many were worried, and that was scary to see you out there running in the highway and stuff. I know everybody jokes about it, but yeah, don't do that anymore. Like I think that you have enough people in your corner that if you ever found yourself in that situation again, reach out. And
Oh yeah, for
it
sure.
doesn't necessarily have to be someone from YouTube, just someone that can talk you down and make sure you're safe. Because I know me personally, I don't care what someone has done. I mean, I think that life is precious and just don't put yourself in any position like that. It was
Right.
sad. It was sad to watch all that play out. I'm not going to lie.
Let's see. John Deere Girl says he only gets triggered when he's been with Phil. No, Phil was the person for Voices for the Children. That's how I met up with Phil and everything. He was going to get um, what do you call it? Damn, I can't remember what it is. You got me on. Let's see. What is it called? Damn, chapter nonprofit organization thing. That's the only reason I went and met up with people named Phil, person named Phil, because he's the actually one that filed through Tennessee, and he misspelled the name of it. And if you misspell the name of it on the actual paper that you file from, that's exactly the name of the company, and it is
Right.
whatever. But no, I don't get triggered. I don't get bothered or nothing like that. I mean, I'm good now,
Do you
even
still
though
talk to Phil?
I haven't. No, I haven't in a while.
Yeah, I would probably say you probably should just stay away from him.
No, I haven't in a while. So
Do you ever want to settle down and get married again?
no,
No.
no, no, I don't. I have no
That's
intentions of
understandable.
getting married again. I'm doing my own thing, and that's it. So here's the thing: Do
Yeah,
you
marriage
remember
can be a
the?
pain in the ass sometimes.
Do you remember the marriage can be? I guess. I mean, it was for me. I was married for 2.5 years, and like I said, I'll show you all the messages and let you do whatever. Phil's not my daddy. See, everybody tries to say things like that. It don't bother me. The fact of the matter is, I'm straight, guys. I don't have any feelings toward other people who are not, but I am straight. Sorry. I like women too much.
So Ernie's on the market, ladies, just not for marriage.
No, no marriage. No marriage. But if you want somebody to tell you how good your eyes look or your smile looks or you're losing weight or whatever you want, whatever the deal is, that's me. I'm just a nice guy. That's all I can be. Heather says that
So
D Boss,
since
you're
it
just blind. Nah, she's not blind. D Boss is smart. Go ahead.
since it's Summer's Day, and you can go ahead and send me the stuff that you want to send me, and I'll take a look at it. And if we need to do a part two, then we'll do a part two. But I know it's Summer's Day. I don't want to keep you too much longer. If you
I'm not going out till tonight. I'm not going out till tonight.
if you had to guess what happened to her, what's your theory? You still stand behind the she was sold or given away or something?
I do.
You do. See, I never talked to like Don or Candace or anything like that. So the conclusion I
Not saying it was Don and Candace that sold her. I'm just saying that something bad happened because if you look at how many kids that's went missing since then from
I
that area,
honestly, yeah,
I mean, there was just a kid that went
I
missing the
just
other day.
feel like I don't think she ever went back up on that hill once she left that morning. That's what I think. And do you still believe that Benny was involved in Summer's disappearance?
Look, here's a fact about Benny Keys. When Benny Keys done all that shit to me, He made $37,000 off YouTube. Think about that. I've got I've got voice messages of Benny Keys and this and that. I've got tons of information on Benny Keys. Do I think he's involved in actual Summer's disappearance? I don't know. But did he make a lot of money off Candace? What do you think, Jason?
Well, I mean, that depends on whether or not I believed that he gave her any money at all. And I mean, I have no reason not to. I know that he went up there and paid for things for them. So even if he didn't like hand her cash money, he did put a lot of his money out to help her when he was in town. Now, do I believe every word that comes out of Benny's mouth? No, I have my own history with him. But I mean, I just have to kind of take it at face value.
You
I
see,
find that
the
if
thing about
I
it is, when I was talking about Summer, every time I talk about Summer, I would take
go
my
ahead.
Cash App down and I would take my PayPal down. I would take everything down that had anything to do with money. And I would tell anybody, it ain't about money. If it's going to be talked about Summer or anytime it was ever in a situation, even the TBI, even the TBI reach out to me. And when they was going around talking about how people made a lot of money off of YouTube, off of Summer, remember that? I was
Yeah.
talking to the TBI. I can show you. Hold on one second. Somebody just hit me with something. Yeah, that's fine. I can do that. Okay, cool. Okay, they're watching right now. I'm just making sure they're watching. Yeah, okay. But anyways, I was in contact with the TBI. I can show you all the messages I sent to TBI, their messages back to me, all that. But like I said, that's one thing I wish I never got into. I wish I never met the YouTube players from the Summer Wells,
Yeah.
and things would have been different. Things would have been a lot different. But everybody I can see, even if you hate me, you have that right to hate me. If you love me, you have the right to love me. It's simple as that. If you want to be a subscriber of mine, you have that right. I'm not going to tell you not to go to Jimbo's, not to do this, not to do that, because I know within time, people will see for themselves who's real and who's not. Simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, and that's just the thing. Nobody's going to tell me where I can and can't go. Like, I've let that be known pretty clear. If someone's going to hold it against me because I'm in someone's chat, then obviously you're there too, or you wouldn't know I'm there.
Exactly. And I promoted the hell out of you. As the other channels promoted you, think about it. You'll get
Well,
your
I
answer
know
real quick.
it was shared out today. I mean, but everybody that's in his chat pretty much already knew. I wanted to get it out there so people could set notifications right away. I mean, as soon as I scheduled it, I made a post. But and I don't ask anybody to promote me. That's like
Yeah,
I'm not even at 3,500 subs, and I've had my channel 2 years, but I want to grow my channel organically. I don't want just everyone to just sub because, like, I want people to sub and be there to listen because they want to hear what I have to say. Like, because I don't know. That's just that's just how I like to roll. I don't expect too much of people. That way, I won't be extremely disappointed when they don't let me down. Um, I know that everyone is dishonest at some point, whether it be a flat out lie or just, omission. There's That's just the way it goes. And people have a right to their privacy when it comes to their life outside of YouTube. Oh, Mama T, we're not gonna argue with Kemper about this.
yeah. Let's not argue with Kemper. Kemper's probably sitting on the mountain doing acid right now. I mean, he admitted doing that. I ain't never done acid. I don't know. You ever done acid chasing justice?
I sure have.
You have. Okay, so might know what the effect of acid is. I don't. What does it do? Did you
Oh
see Green
gosh, that was
Aliens
so
and
many years ago.
Marshmallow
I mean, it
Men?
alters your brain. You hallucinate everything. No, I never saw any creepy marshmallow men.
Did you
See,
see
this
any
is the
aliens?
thing, Ernie. No, I grew up my teenage years in Vegas,
Cool. I've been to
so
Vegas.
stuff like that, back then, that was common back then. I mean, there wasn't a lot for kids to do out in the desert
Constance Sue said she's done
when you're not
acid.
old
It
enough to
makes you
go to
laugh your ass
casinos.
off.
So yeah, I've tried acid before. Yeah. I
Constance Sue
remember
says it
that
makes you
I
laugh your
was
ass off. So Constance has done
I
acid. Cool.
I spent the night at my friend's house the night I did it, and like we got hungry and she made me this roast beef sandwich, and I remember I couldn't eat it because it was like, I don't know, it was a texture thing. It grossed me out. So yeah.
Hmm. I
Yes,
bet
Lulu,
Constance
acid
did
is a
acid at
psychedelic.
Woodstock. It is a
It's a
socket.
hallucinogenic.
See, I didn't even know what that was. I didn't ever. Maybe I might. Where can you get it at, Jason? I'm gonna try me some that way. Next interview we
Oh
do.
hell, I don't know.
The next. The next. The next
It's
interview.
not like I have it's not like I have an acid dealer on standby.
The next interview you do, I'm gonna be on acid. That way I can see the
Oh
marshmallow
shit.
men and the aliens and
No, I
who
think we've
knows.
had enough of seeing marshmallow men. Like if I never see another marshmallow guy again, it'll be too soon.
Look, I've never had any relationship with Tina, like a girlfriend boyfriend relationship with Tina Kemper, so I don't know about all that. I have to try it. I don't know. Knowing you, I don't know. I've never tried the acid, so I don't know.
Let's see. I'm gonna try to look at some of these comments before we go. So Donna
Yeah,
says you admitted to
admitted to
the
what?
police that you did meth, that you still stand by, that you've never done it, don't know what it looks like.
Never
Why would
done
the
meth. I've
police
never done it
report say that you
because
admitted
they.
to that?
Well, look, even the police report had to change. They had to change the police report and drop my charge to domestic or what was it? Damn
Uh,
it,
Disturbing.
disorderly,
Yeah.
disorderly, disorderly. That ain't meth. Disorderly ain't meth. So they had to drop the charge to it just because of that.
Do you have a good attorney that's helping you out with all this other stuff?
I have people I'm in contact with. Like I said, I know Jimbo's pressing charges on other shit and everything, and he's got some people that's going to press charges on me and stuff. So that maybe that's why I've not turned
Well,
myself in
I'm
yet
just
because
talking about like the van thing and the New York stuff.
I'm
Like,
not worried about the New York and van thing. I'm not worried about that at all. It's the lies that I'm worried about that Jimbo's done. So
well, it'll all come out in the wash. As frustrating as
well,
it
Kemper,
is.
they didn't have to drop it, but they did drop it. It's in fact they dropped it to disorderly conduct. So there. I mean, that's on the thing, disorderly conduct. It ain't nothing about meth. So you need to go by what's updated. I know you want to prove to people that I'm this bad guy, and you want to try to make it a point that I'm a bad guy and I'm a bad person. I'm this evil, evil, evil person, but I'm not. I'm sorry. So no matter how you look at it, you can never ever do that. So there.
So, did they drop it or was it a plea deal?
No, it was just they took it out. They took the meth out. They took the meth charges things out, everything because they couldn't do it because the thing about
So,
it
they
is,
just changed
even
the
though
charges when you went to court. It gave you a
yeah,
lesser
they
charge.
had to change them. They had to they had to revise the charges.
Yeah, penny positive. I wouldn't do anything from the streets today either. And I tell my kids, do not trust anything on the streets. Luckily, by the grace of God, I have amazing kids who have never dabbled in anything like that. Um,
Somebody, can you tell Paige Lovelace people gets off of dialysis? You don't always have to. You're not always stuck on
tell who?
dialysis. I was on dialysis for 2 weeks. Okay, that's it. 2 weeks. I don't have to have dialysis all the time. Okay, I don't even have to have it now. So you do get better if your kidneys get better. you do get off of it. So you need to understand that, okay? Which you don't. You don't understand. Again, you got to have the capacity to understand. Plea deal, whatever it was, at least the meth wasn't in there, right?
Well, I mean, I think that's all I have for today. I'm sure once we get off, I'll think of a million more things. But, now we have an open dialogue. I feel like I can come and talk to you
Well, yeah, for
without getting my
anything.
head bit off.
No, I'm not going to bite your head off. There's no reason to bite your head off. I
Well,
mean, you're
it's
just
not
asking questions.
necessarily just you. I mean, you have some mods who really dislike me for,
No.
and I get it. They're doing it in defense of you. But
So let
I
me
mean,
let
I
me
don't think
let me
I've
get
ever
this last
put
question.
anything
Let me
out
get
that
this last
made you look
question.
too terrible.
It says you were arrested in New York when you were supposedly in ICU, Skern. Wrong. It was the same day, and I was not arrested in New York. They wrote me out a paper. They didn't arrest me, and I went to the hospital the same day. So you need to get that through. You need to understand that New York don't always make arrest. New York does what's called a citation marks, and then they charge you through the paper and everything. They don't always arrest you. Okay, so there you go.
Okay, last question is why did you tell everyone that Jimbo had people attack you and that's why you were in the hospital?
Because things happened, and I said what I said on that. So I was stuck. Well, there was a lot of things that happened, so I have to be straight up about everything. But
Fair enough.
there was a lot of things that happened, and I'm not saying if Jimbo had me attacked or not, but I know what in my heart what I believe, and
Well, thank you,
that's all I'm
beloved
gonna say.
ghost.
If you seen the thing stuck in my neck, you could see what was going on. The blood was pouring out of it. I had pictures. It is what it is.
So, can I have a
So,
wrench on
Kemper,
your channel now?
can you have a wrench on my channel? You going to
I'm
be good?
kidding. I'm kidding. Yes, I'm good. When I have a wrench on someone's channel, my only focus is to keep that person's channel running smoothly. I don't block anybody who doesn't need to be blocked. I don't go rogue. I'm not out to sabotage anyone. I'm a good mod. But if you don't want to give me one, I completely understand. I was
I
just
understand.
joking
No,
anyway.
no, no. I'll look into that. But Paige Lovelace, I'm not a liar. I'm not a liar 100% of the time. Not at all. Only time I lie is when I'm skip tracing. Then I'm a liar for hire. That's what a skip tracer is, a liar for hire.
Yeah. Good old liar for hire.
Liar for hire. Saying
Well, I
people attacked
really
you when
appreciate
he
you taking
never
out of your
did,
day
that's
to
very
do this
much
with
so not a
me.
good
I
idea.
think that,
I never said that I wouldn't attack. I never said that. I just said I'd rather not talk about it. So, Fugitive, he chose to put his life on YouTube and he decides to lie about everything. I'm not lying about everything. Not at all. You are the same kind of liar that you claimed your sister was, Kemper. No, not a bit. Sorry. No matter how much you want people to believe that, Kemper, I'm not. I'm not. Not at all. You remember when me and Jimbo and Kemper was on the same panel together? Do you remember that? When I was in New York,
oh gosh, that was a long time
I
ago.
was going to the Empire State Building, and Kemper was apologizing. He was like, "Oh yeah, I didn't mean it like that," and it was just the way it come out with. It was mostly Tina. It wasn't really you. It was Tina and all this. And then all of a sudden, we agree. We agree on being cool and everything with each other, putting it all behind us. And then the next thing you know, Kemper shows back up on the stand. He shows back up on the stand, and it's all about me again, right over and over and over again, all about me. So everybody, if you can tip the host, Chasing Justice, you got a
Hey,
real good cash out
and
name.
if you want to donate, donate. If you don't, don't.
There you go.
Ernie
There
can
you
use a
go.
dollar.
I could
I
use a
have
dollar. I
another
could use.
song for you before we end. I'm just going to kind of close with that and let the chat roll for a little bit. And if we see any questions, we can pick it
Cool.
up next time. But I really
That's fine.
appreciate you. I think that this was insightful. And I have a little bit better understanding of who you are now as a person. I do want to ask one more question because people just reminded me about this. Why did you call Atil with those messages?
Call it teal. What is that?
All things in life when you called
Calling
her
things in
and
live messages. ATIL? Oh
you
God.
like prank called her and left her, I guess it was left her voicemails or whatever.
Oh, ATIL. Everybody was just joking
Yeah.
with ATIL, just seeing it,
Yeah.
giving her some content. So she ATIL, here's the thing. ATIL was for me, then against me, then for me, then against me, then for me. And then she comes out and she don't even know what the hell she's talking about most of the time. But I listened to her and I entertained it. I entertained the thought. And the thing about it is when she was on her live or whatever, when she was putting it up there, she was laughing. She was laughing just to hear that somebody had made contact with her. So but anytime you butt dial, I was having sex and butt dialed. That's probably what it was. I don't know.
Oh no. That is a visual image I didn't need.
Well, I mean, it's an image all along. All of a sudden, it's a good image, though. It's a real good image. Look, look, chasing justice. I look damn good, and I take care of myself. I look really damn good, and I take care of myself. For my age, I'm keeping myself intact. I'm keeping myself looking good. Okay. I mean, I get up every morning. I get to. Well, I was a milking a cow. You ever milked a cow? You know how hard it is to
I've
milk a
milked
cow?
a goat. I've milked a goat, but I've never milked a cow.
No, you got to milk a cow. So people want to try to catch me and this and that and say I did this and that I'm a bad person. I'm not a bad person. You know, I laugh and cut up and joke around just like the other ones. Kemper wants to know when the last
Yeah.
time I bathed. So I'm gonna take a picture. Kemper, if you want me to take a picture for you and me in the shower, if that's what you want me to do, I'm not gonna show you my private area, but you have not bathed in 4 to 5 days. What are you talking about? I always take good care of myself. I like the bath. I love the bath. Me and the bath have a hell of a relationship.
Can never
But
be too clean.
oh yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, I'm going to let chat roll for a few minutes because I'm going to take us out with this next song. And Ernie, be safe out there. Um, and, hopefully you have a good time at Summer's Day. I imagine the mood is pretty solemn out there. I don't know what I would do if one of my children were missing for 2 years.
Well, I don't think anybody's going to go live out there. I don't know because I don't know. It's untelling. I may go live. I don't know.
Right. Well, you guys,
Okay.
I hope
Thank you. Thank
that
you.
everyone got some answers that they wanted. And we had a few bumps along the road, but
They got
we pulled
straightened
it
out.
together. And I don't know, everyone just remember life is short. You never know if you're going to get tomorrow. I know life is way too short for some of the nonsense that goes on here on a daily basis. And all right, everyone, have a wonderful evening, and I will be talking to all of you soon. I have a missing person that I'm going to be reporting on as soon as the family gets back to me this afternoon. And I will get a live set up. So, everyone, set your notifications. I will see you all later.
Where have all the good men gone? And where are all the gods? Where's the streetwise Hercules to fight the rising moon? Isn't there a white knight upon a fiery steed?
All right, guys. Everyone have a great night. I'll talk to you all soon.